players left of him. And Coppell's got a fine cross and a brilliant goal! Scored by David Johnson. I think that's the first time an England player has actually got to the dead ball line. What a superb cross. Coppell finding Johnson, who in turn beat Fiol. Now look at this, he's got two players to take on here. Look at the angle of the cross, only just the room to get it, and in comes Johnson to head past Fiol. Maradona looking for a foul that was never there. Johnson getting one from Luque. Among the managers watching this match, Enzo Berzot of Italy and Guy Thys of Belgium. Here's Woodcock, challenged by Gallego. Kennedy, and the goalkeeper got a hand to it, but Johnson had the easiest of tasks to get his second goal. Two go to congratulate him. Three went to congratulate the man who crossed. The light obviously on the bench. Just look at the quality of this cross here from Kennedy. It really teased the goalkeeper, who got a hand and made it a present really for David Johnson for his second goal of the match.
Argentina hit back when Diego Maradona waltzed into the box and was appended by Kenny Sansom. Daniel Passarella converted from the spot.
And the match nicely poised. Last time Argentina came here, before the '74 World Cup, they got a 2-2 draw. Here's Keegan, who now has Johnson to his left. Coppell, Keegan! Oh, what a strike! Marvellous play. No wonder they stand up on the bench, on the England side that is. That's a measure of the little man, but again, credit to Coppell, who killed it, absolutely set it up for him, and Keegan said, that's mine. Bang! Super goal. Worked space for himself well, and there's Lloyd, and Davis had it, lost it, and Barnes, he had the thump, and Mariner got the last touch. Here's Brian Flynn, only Walsh left side of him, and now Walsh moving left of the penalty spot, being watched by Phil Thompson, but here is Walsh, and put in by Mickey Thomas. James. Flynn. James making the run out to the right. Giles in the middle. So is Edwards. And Walsh, and Walsh puts it in. We've had an hour of the match, and the Welsh lead by 2-1. And here is Leighton James on the break. Walsh up with him. Giles arriving square, and James gets the shot, a good save, and it's going in! There's a greater sharpness in midfield, and England have gone back to the form of the latter part of the first half. Good decision by the referee to allow play to continue. This is Giles, and it's going an own goal by Phil Thompson.
Get it in! Billy Hamilton scores for Northern Ireland.
A few days later, it was off to Wembley for that most difficult of games against England. And when they scored first, it looked like just another story of not good enough.
Hughes. Brooking didn't, but Johnson did. And he's kept up the record. That's 6 goals for England in his 6th match. Suddenly become another Wembley celebration. Jimmy Nicholl, he just made it. Armstrong didn't get there, but Cochrane coming in from the far side did, and suddenly the celebration is cut off in its prime.
So it all added up to the fact that the championship could be ours if we could finish up with a win against Wales. And like any good birthday party should, it finished up on a very happy note.
There's Hamilton. He's got past Jones. He's got Armstrong in the centre. Oh, support too from Brotherston. Now, can he finish this time? Oh, he has!
Bring Johnson on the right, Koppel in the middle, Mariner far side coming in. Nodded back for Brooking, and Brooking, only the second goal of his England career. Johnson and Burley, handball by Johnson. Well, no whistle has gone. Brooking, if he can pull it back. Two other England players there. Here's Brooking, Koppel to the left. Koppel again after the goalkeeper lost it. And another day.
The Belgian referee now happy that everything is ready to go ahead. Ricks curling it in again. And a goal by Terry McDermott. Such a slender hold that England have got on this game in terms of goals at the moment. Oh, the territorial advantage, but every time the Norwegians break, you begin to wonder. But here's Mariner now, trying to get up and getting up well there. And put in there by Woodcock for number 2. But now here's Gates. Mariner. Going all the way. Brought down and a penalty. Mariner brought down, a penalty for England. So will it be 3-0 for England now? It is McDermott's second of the night, and England's third. Gates. Woodcock and Mariner. Oh, Mariner trying to worm his way through to get a shot in. Oh, a brilliant goal by Paul Mariner.
And Andy Gray going down the middle. But there's support by Gemmell. That's Strachan on the left, going for the line. Oh, he's put it away.
Good play by Billy Hamilton. Here's Armstrong, McElroy in support. McElroy. Brotherston still there. It's in. 24.5 minutes gone. Northern Ireland take the lead. That's a good throw too for Armstrong. He'll have to hold it till he gets players up in support. They're coming up now. He's got Hamilton in the middle. Well done, Jerry Armstrong. Chance for McElroy. Another goal for Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland's ball. McElroy looking for Neil quickly. Finds him. It's a good ball to Cassidy. To Nicol. Jimmy Nicol. Shot. It's in! Jimmy Nichols, first goal for Northern Ireland.
Uzupełniając ją ciągle młodymi zawodnikami, zdolnymi zawodnikami, no właśnie, którzy zaczęli się tą wczesną jesienią sprawdzać. Tutaj strzela Ciołek bramkę Argentynie. Polska drużyna występuje na stadionie Buenos Aires z mistrzem świata. Jechaliśmy tam na pożarcie. Maradona, Fiziol, Passarella, Olgin, same sławy. I można powiedzieć, że ta nasza drużyna nie dała się tam połknąć Argentyńczykom.
Ale przegrała zasłużenie.
Przegrała zasłużenie. by z kolei zasłużenie wygrać z Hiszpanią, bo to już jest mecz z Hiszpanią, gdzie znów wielu młodych zawodników, jak Andrzej Iwan na przykład, strzelił tę pierwszą bramkę, potem jeszcze następną, dalej Ciołek, dalej Smolarek, Skrobowski, Pałasz. Ci młodzi zawodnicy, nowa fala, która krzepła niejako w tych wszystkich meczach.
Iván, dos tiempos marca el 1-2
Wspaniały
para
strzał
Polonia.
Andrzeja Iwana i zwycięstwo w Hiszpanii 2-1.
Turned there by Marin, a bit of space here for Phil Neal, flicking it wide here and doing it well for Koppel. It's out! An own goal! Brooking with the free kick. Mariner with the header! 2-0 to England. There's the score with those 15 minutes remaining as the Swiss come away down the left with Verli, with a lot of pace to them as well. This could be a dangerous indeed. Interesting cross towards the far post.
Zdeněk Náhoda. And inside the next minute, Czechoslovakia added a second and seemed set for a big win that never materialised. Jurković's long pass causing the problems, and when the ball finally breaks free, Náhoda once again showing a finishing touch of the highest international class. Germany had to endure some early pressure in Sofia on a tricky surface which was swept clear of snow, but the game turned their way with this goal from Manny Kautz. The decisive moment, though, came 9 minutes before half-time. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge here, going down after colliding with goalkeeper Christoph, and despite Rummenigge's delayed fall, a penalty is given. And Kautz puts away his second goal. 10 minutes into the second half, a bad mistake by the Bulgarian defender Markov, allowing Rummenigge to go clear to make it 3-0 and to seal the victory. Bulgaria's one reply came when Yonchev was allowed to break clear to score, but West Germany back in World Cup action in
the ball up here, allowed to run all the way, and a good shot at the end past Sarganis, the Greek goalkeeper, perhaps took an unkind bounce on the way. The nearest the Greeks came to an equaliser after this free kick. It's hooked back in there by Josifides. Watch out for a good save from Dino Zoff. Overhead kick and a good parry there from Zoff, and Tardelli gets it away for a corner. Second Italian goal coming up with 9 minutes to go. Scirea picking the ball up there and breaking forward as he does so often for Juventus. Watch out for a lovely back heel from Graziani just there, and Scirea runs on for Italy's.
W końcu przeciw Malcie wystąpiła drużyna osłabiona brakiem 4 czołowych zawodników, a trener Ryszard Kulesza właśnie po tym meczu pożegnał się z reprezentacją. Dyskwalifikacja najlepszych nie osłabiła tak polskiego zespołu, by nie mógł sobie dać rady ze słabymi Maltańczykami. Boisko w La Valletta nie przypominało prawdziwego boiska piłkarskiego. Było to po prostu kamieniste klepisko. Po przerwie przewaga polskiej drużyny była coraz bardziej wyraźna. Najpierw w 55 minucie Smolarek, a 20 minut później Lipka znaleźli drogę do maltańskiej bramki. Gospodarze nie wytrzymali tego nerwowo i po awanturze na boisku gorący nastrój przeniósł się na trybuny, z których na zawodników i sędziów posypały się kamienie. W tej sytuacji jugosłowiański arbiter Maksimowicz w 82 minucie przerwał spotkanie, a Międzynarodowa Federacja zweryfikowała mecz jako walkover dla Polski, utrzymując wynik osiągnięty na boisku. Kadrę po tym spotkaniu objął trener Antoni Piechniczek.
To wait just 30 minutes for Uruguay's opening goal. It followed a fairly violent Dutch tackle,
But it was really set up by a nice pass inside the defence for veteran winger Morales to draw the keeper and find Ramos. The second goal on the stroke of half-time was much simpler. Morales' corner being flicked on for Victorino to score with a diving header. And that's how it ended, Uruguay 2, Holland 0. 2 days later, the game between Argentina and West Germany saw Hrubesch head the European champions into the lead after 41 minutes. But the world champions fought back to equalise in bizarre fashion. Manny Kaltz missed kicking Passarella's header into his own net 5 minutes from time. Then, with only a minute to go, a truly magnificent goal gave Argentina a 2-1 victory. Watch how Ramon Diaz takes the pass in his stride and finds the top corner. So for the Germans, their run. Referee Guruceta of Spain had no hesitation in awarding the penalty, but the Italians thought differently. The referee soon waved aside the protests, and waiting calmly to take the kick was Uruguay's 36-year-old winger Morales, who refused to be intimidated by Italian keeper Bordon's antics. Was he trying to put the fluence on the ball or offering Morales even money that he wouldn't score? Anyway, the veteran winger's goal was a signal for an ugly incident just 3 minutes later. With Uruguay in possession, there followed a series of hard, sometimes violent tackles, which in retrospect perhaps condone the Football League's decision not to release England's top players at what is a crucial time of the season. The whole incident came to a head with Uruguay's Moreira and Italy's Cabrini squaring up to each other, which in turn prompted both teams to join in an undignified verbal battle. The outcome of it all was that both Moreira and Cabrini were to receive the red card from referee Guruceta, who in all booked 4 men and later sent off Italy's Marco Tardelli for a violent foul. Coming as it did 2 minutes from time, it didn't affect the final outcome because Uruguay were by then leading 2-0. Their second in the 82nd minute, a beautifully taken goal, with Victorino controlling a cross nicely on his chest before sliding the...
In Group A was certainly memorable, with Italy's Carlo Ancelotti marking his debut after only 7 minutes. And then Jan Pieters, 8 minutes later, a player who will be remembered from his performance at Wembley, giving the Dutch what proved to be the equaliser. Ivano Bordon, as they say, was beaten all ends up. The size of West Germany's defeat by Brazil in Group B certainly upset the Argentines, particularly as the European champions scored first. The continent's player of the year, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, did all the spade work, Hansi Müller supplied the pass, and the scorer was Alofs. But 4 minutes later, Junior equalised. And looking at it again, it can be seen the ball goes over the wall. Brazil needed a 2-goal margin in order to qualify for the final. And Cerezo made it a possibility after a good build-up and a fine shot. His efforts to keep the ball down are certainly rewarded. The Germans went to pieces after that, Serginho giving Brazil the advantage they needed after 76 minutes, the defence being cut to ribbons. And then 8 minutes from time, Zé Sergio, cousin and successor to the great Rivellino, made absolutely sure with the 4th Brazilian goal.
Minutes into the second half, Uruguay playing from left to right. Ruben Paz picking up the ball here, the man they call the new Maradona. Cuts in, good shot that's charged away, and it's turned in by the substitute Barrios from just 10 yards. So Uruguay go 1-up 5 minutes into the second half. And great celebrations there as well from the substitute Barrios. Looking at it again, Ruben Paz with a good run. That's the goalkeeper Aete pushing it away, but the substitute Barrios puts the host nation 1-up 5 minutes into the second half. Barely 10 minutes later, this is Socrates, the Brazilian captain, on a run, taking on the Uruguayan defence, and was he brought down there? Yes, referee Eric Linnemeyer, the Austrian, gives a penalty, and what a brave man he is to do that, to give a penalty against Uruguay in Montevideo. But there's the tackle, and it looks pretty blatant, doesn't it, on Socrates, the Brazilian captain. And Socrates himself to take the penalty and puts it in without any bother at all. So Brazil are level at 1-1. That's the first goal that Uruguay have conceded so far in the tournament. It's captain against captain here. Socrates turning it in very comfortably past Rodriguez. Less than 10 minutes to play. Free kick by Ramos, diving header, and turned in there by Victorino. So Uruguay 2-1 up. 9 minutes to go. Victorino celebrates. It means he's scored in every game. Just seeing it again, the deciding goal it was. Header from Victorino, and Uruguay have won. And look at the celebrations there in Montevideo. It's going to be a wild night there tonight, and a pretty wet one as well.
Of the game. Fullback Plesser's miss-hit cross finding Constantinu way off his line and leaving the Cyprus keeper diving backwards in vain. Only 6 minutes later, Belgium looked to be on their way to an easy win. Gerrits beginning the move wide on the right, and Erwin Vandenberg finishing it off with help once again from the keeper, who was down far too early for a shot which whistled over his shoulder. But just before the interval, Belgian keeper Faf suddenly joined in the error-making when he stood and watched a long free kick right onto Lysandru's foot 5 yards from his goal. So Belgium 2, Cyprus 1 at the interval, and 2-all 14 minutes into the second half, as a long ball split the Belgian defence for Vrahamis to beat the reckless on-rushing Faf with the outside of his foot. It was left to Belgian Footballer of the Year, Jan Keulemans, to save Belgium's embarrassment with a winner after 67 minutes, following a neat 1-2, but with Cypriot keeper Constantinu again making his move far too early. The final score, Belgium...
Alec McLeish is there, this must be a chance of brilliant goal! Alec McLeish is there, this must be a chance of brilliant goal! 1-0 for Scotland, Kenny De... Alec McLeish is there, this must be a chance of brilliant goal! Kenny De Vries, 1-0 for Scotland.
Result of an astonishing error by Turkish defender Husnu. He chose to head a low cross, but succeeded only in setting up Carl Harris for the easiest of chances. That incident came in the 68th minute, and shortly afterward...
To the largely predictable Scottish pressure, but they always look dangerous. Watch Billy Hamilton here. This goal came in the 20th minute of the second half. The Scottish defence is guilty almost of criminal negligence as he gets in uncovered to put it away, stunning the 78,000 crowd. The equaliser came 13 minutes from the end when exasperation was spreading round the terraces. Gemmell took a very quick free kick and Willie Miller sent a superb through pass to John Walk. That was the equaliser. Walk, who'd had a quiet night previously, kept Scotland's unbeaten record.
But the referee disallows the goal. Now, for offside or a foul? Well, when the ball comes across, Stapleton certainly seemed onside, certainly when the free kick was actually taken, but no goal. In the second half, Belgium earn a free kick from a similar sort of position. First of all, it's saved, but Koolmans makes sure of the 2 points.
It's Zamora back to Juanito. Marcos calling for it on the far side. Zamora going down the middle, as is Satrustiki. And this is Zamora, play on, says the linesman. And that's put nicely in by Satrustiki. Brooking, under a lot of pressure from Joaquin. Neil's cross, and Mariner lost the flight of the ball, it seemed. Robson. Hoddle! Oh, I say, he's done it again. This is Juanito, and this is Zamora.
And John Cartwright, the England youth team manager, was in Bucharest to size up our next World Cup opponents. He saw them take the lead after 8 minutes, following a fine run by Raducanu on the ball now. He combined with number 10 Stoicar, and defensive confusion allowed Prisan, the number 7, to pull the ball back for Kamataru to score. Good finishing by the Romanian centre-forward. A corner after 31 minutes brought Romania their second goal. The big number 4, Sarmesh, gets up well, and Iordanescu gets the final touch to make the score Romania 2, Poland 0. Confirmed his impressive return to the international team and kept alive Holland's chances of qualifying for Spain. The goal came 2 minutes into the second half.
Bolivia's goalkeeper, Jimenez, had brought down Reinaldo. The halting start of the penalty is worth noting. The local favourite's second goal owed much to a missed kick by Espinosa. Zico, number 10, having the time to position himself after Eder's shot had come back off the bar. Bolivia reduced the deficit with the game's second penalty after Junior was adjudged to have brought down Trigo. Aragones was the scorer. But Zico set the seal on Brazil's night with a typical free kick.
Arnold Muren with this free kick for Holland, over the wall, off the post and the goalkeeper, and in for the only goal. And the Dutch...
West Germany's Bernd Schuster is still capable of the form that he showed in last year's European Championship finals. Regaining possession here, he's number 6 in the white shirt. He hit a marvellous 20-yard shot to give the West Germans the lead with just 7 minutes gone. They had to wait, though, until the 70th minute to confirm the 2 points and to hand Albania their 4th defeat in 5 World Cup matches. Hansi Müller started the move, and then when the cross was too long, Rummenigge did well to pull the ball back for Schuster.
Taru. But 4 minutes later, Denmark were level when Romania failed to clear this free kick. As the ball's played through, Elkjaer is bundled down, and that's a penalty. The scorer from the spot, the former European Footballer of the Year, Alan Simonsen. Denmark got their winner 10 minutes from time in a manner that might well interest Ron Greenwood. From the corner, Lars Bastrup allowed to head in at the near post work that beat England, typified by a sweeping move here, which ends with Gordillo, the left-back, so close to giving them the lead. But the decisive finishing was to come from Hungary. Fozikosh setting up a goal in the 31st minute for Laszlo Kisz. Spain were without Zamora in midfield, but his deputy Solsona came nearest to an equaliser. But 10 minutes from time, Kisz created a second for Hungary for the substitute Badonyi. And a goal by Niloshi in the final minute wrapped up Hungary's first ever win over Spain by 3 goals to 0.
Cochrane keeps it in. Now's a chance. Armstrong! Yes! Armstrong has scored for Northern Ireland. .28.5 minutes gone, and a crucial goal for the home team.
And gets it. It's a penalty kick. There is no protest. So, 21 minutes of the first half gone, and the man who was brought down, John Robinson, to take this. Oh, he's just in. Oh, 1-0. Steve Archibald. That looks like a penalty kick, and it is. John Robinson. What style this time? Oh, yes. Jordan. Souness. Proven, yes. 3-0. Touched there by Schum. Dempsey. Put that with the outside of his foot. That's a very good ball. The greats of again. Sinai, yes.
Paris, where Erwin van der Berg gave the white-shirted Belgians a 6-minute lead against France. But then came 3 fine French goals in a spell of 17 minutes. After Schenghini's free kick had hit the bar, Géré Soler headed in the rebound. Memories of Steve Coppell's excellent service from England's right wing on Wednesday were stirred by the second goal, but he didn't have Didier Cisse to add the final killing touch. The confidence that comes from scoring can also bring its own luck. The Belgian keeper, Prudhomme, was at fault for the 3rd goal, making a hash of trying to save this shot from Soler. A complete rout of the Belgians was avoided in the second half when Keulemans beat appeals for offside to score. But it was still Belgium's first defeat in Group 2, with the French now 3rd.
This time the quality of cross to Rummenigge on the far post is outstanding, and it's Rummenigge who turns the loose ball back to Klaus Fischer to score in his first international in 14 months. Tudel's clever dummy and Bobby Charlton-style shot put them ahead after just 7 minutes. And he also created the second 16 minutes later. After a fine run into space, Slaivo kept his head, made himself some room, and then drove in a low cross, which Halil Hodzic headed into goal. Yugoslavia then took a 3-goal lead just before half-time, a long diagonal cross finding Halil Hodzic, who was pulled down unceremoniously by Greek keeper Sarganis. To the crowd's delight, the penalty kick was then taken and converted by Yugoslav keeper Pantelic. The quality of the fourth goal, 5 minutes after half-time, was outstanding. Look for a lovely little reverse pass which creates the space for a cross, headed home this time by Vujovic. And the same player was to get a second 7 minutes later, as this time a near-post cross tempted the keeper to leave his goal. So 5-0 to Yugoslavia, but the one Greek goal worth looking at simply for the pace with which Arthuroglu ran at the Yugoslav defence with the ball before being pulled down. It showed clearly that if any player is determined and positive enough in his play, he'll terrify opposing defences. Kostikos scored from the penalty spot, but a great 5-1 win for Yugoslavia.
The equaliser a minute from half-time was reward for veteran Laszlo Banic's determined running. It took him past 3 defenders. 2 minutes after the restart, Sousa restored Switzerland's lead. Shea Villa, number 11 here, played a key role, and so did some rather static defenders. Muka's through ball brought Hungary's second equaliser. Kiss was fouled on the edge of the area, and so as he followed up was Nilashi. And that left the culprit, Bergner, the goalkeeper, to face Müller from the penalty spot. 2-2.
Wiadomo, dziś, jeśli marzymy o stadionach Hiszpanii, musimy ten mecz wygrać. Krócej, znów Szarmach głową. 2 wyskoki Andrzeja Szarmacha, 2 rzuty rożne niewykorzystane przez zespół polski. Wysokość pola karnego. Groźna sytuacja. Drużyna NRD, strzał i Tomaszewski. Jan Tomaszewski w pierwszej akcji w okolicach własnej bramki. Jest Kupcewicz, pokazuje się, szuka tej piłki, doskonale ustawia się i długie podanie na prawą stronę. Grzegorz Lato, wejście w pole karne. Brakło 2 metrów. Niedobrze, Hoffman, gol! Ale proszę Państwa, tam sędzia boczny pokazuje spalony, bramki nie ma. W powtórce jeszcze raz zobaczą Państwo, że arbiter główny miał rację. Jeszcze raz ta sytuacja. Proszę zwrócić uwagę, przekazanie piłki na lewą stronę. O, i wyraźny offside, to jakieś 1,5 metra zawodnika NRD.
Iwan, Sztrocniak, Smolarek, bardzo agresywny, bojowy, mimo że jest tam ostro atakowany, tym razem przez Hefnera. Smolarek utrzymał się przy piłce, będzie chyba za chwilę dośrodkowanie. Jeszcze jeden zwód, podanie do tyłu, do Jałochy, narożnik pola karnego, strzela, Szarmach, pole karne, jeszcze Jałocha, jest bramka, Szarmach, zamieszanie, Smolarek nie dojdzie do piłki i nadal 0-0, ale akcja Polaków jeszcze nie zakończona, bo to Buncol rozpoczyna taniec z piłką w narożniku, atakowany przez Hefnera. Trener Piechniczek w założeniach przedmeczowych właśnie dał tego rodzaju zadanie Buncolowi, aby pilnował Hefnera, ale Hefner rewanżuje się naszemu pomocnikowi. Szarmach i Szmuk. Buncol wrzuca piłkę lewą nogą, Lato, pole karne i Sznuphaze. Dosyć chaotyczna obrona piłkarzy NRD w tym momencie, kiedy biało-czerwoni atakują. Do zakończenia pierwszej części spotkania jeszcze 10 minut. 0-0. Głośny doping 100 000 ludzi na stadionie chorzowskim. Jałocha, narożnik boiska, dośrodkowanie, mocno podkręcona piłka do tyłu. Tu jest Iwan, podaje w kierunku Smolarka. Smolarek atakowany i aut bramkowy. I rzut wolny dla piłkarzy NRD. Odległość od bramki dosyć spora, ostry kąt, większa ilość zawodników w niebieskich koszulkach i białych spodenkach na polu karnym Tomaszewskiego. Jest tu Hoffman, jest Szmuk, jest Sznuphaze, jeden z najbardziej bramkostrzelnych zawodników Ligi NRD. Dobra główka Żmudy, szybkie podanie do Smolarka, Smolarek i Sztrocniak. Jeszcze raz mamy przykład niebywałej konsekwencji piłkarzy NRD, którzy nie opuszczają zawodników pilnowanych przez siebie. Sztrocniak, pomimo że akcja była pod bramką Tomaszewskiego, stał tuż za plecami Smolarka. Jeszcze około 60 sekund do zakończenia tej pierwszej połowy spotkania. Biegną fotoreporterzy, czyżby przeczuwali. Odległość od bramki 29, może 30 metrów. Powiewają biało-czerwone flagi na 100-tysięczniku chorzowskim. Szarmach! Silne uderzenie wprost w głowę obrońcy NRD. Jeszcze raz Kupcewicz. Janas. Buncol. Atakujemy lewą stroną boiska. Szarmach, pole karne. Odgrywa do tyłu do Iwana. Teraz jeszcze Lato. Będzie dośrodkowanie. I piłka wychodzi na rzut rożny. Smolarek. Nie ma rzutu rożnego. Sędzia kończy spotkanie, a więc nie doliczył tych kilkudziesięciu sekund spowodowanych kontuzją Streicha, tymi krótkimi przerwami, tą kontuzją Smolarka. Pierwsza połowa spotkania Polska-NRD kończy się więc rezultatem bezbramkowym. Uporczywa, zacięta, wyrównana walka z nieznaczną przewagą naszych zawodników. Iwan, obok niego Kurpiuwajt. Szarmach i Iwan troszeczkę sobie przeszkadzali. Teraz dobre podanie do Iwana. Wysokość pola karnego, dośrodkowanie. Buncol. Nie zdecydował się jednak na strzał. Zbyt szybko trafił w nogi piłkarzy NRD. Buncol jest zawodnikiem, który dopiero po raz drugi gra w naszej reprezentacji. Debiutował w meczu z Rumunią. Żmuda. Kurpiuwajt. Jeden z 4 stoperów występujących w drużynie NRD, chociaż nie na pozycji środkowego obrońcy. Janas. Jałocha, Buncol. Kupcewicz. Operujący jednak w strefie środkowej boiska, daleko od linii pola karnego. Szarmach popchnięty przez swego anioła stróża Szmuka. Odległość od bramki 24-25 metrów. Piłkarze NRD tworzą mur. Sztrocniak, Riediger, Sznupchaza, więc ci zawodnicy najwyżsi w zespole naszego przeciwnika. Szarmach, Iwan i Kupcewicz. Ta trójka obok piłki. Stały fragment gry. Odległość od bramki jednak dosyć spora. Na polu karnym 4 naszych zawodników. Podbiega do piłki Kupcewicz, strzela. I rzut rożny. Pierwszy rzut rożny w drugiej części spotkania. W pierwszej połowie Polacy wykonywali 5 rzutów rożnych przy ani jednym drużyny NRD. Lato i bramka! Wspaniała bramka Grzegorza Laty, a więc 10. minuta drugiej połowy spotkania po rzucie rożnym wykonanym przez Smolarka. Polska prowadzi z NRD 1-0. Udało się zmusić do kapitulacji. Za chwilę powinna być powtórka. Będziemy mogli dokładniej przeanalizować tę sytuację. Oto podbiegający do piłka skrzydłowy naszej reprezentacji. Wysoka, mocno podkręcona piłka. Lato posyła tę piłkę na pole bramkowe i tu jeszcze jeden z naszych zawodników dobija tę piłkę przed Grapentinem do bramki, a więc 1-0 prowadzą nasi reprezentanci. Trudno mi tutaj na tym naszym monitorze, mam nie najlepszy obraz, rozszyfrować tego zawodnika, który wykończył tę składną akcję naszego zespołu, ale ważne w tej chwili, że Polska prowadzi na Stadionie Śląskim z Niemiecką Republiką Demokratyczną w meczu w ramach eliminacji Mistrzostw Świata 1-0. Mieli rację jednak ci, którzy byli optymistami, którzy wierzyli w zdobycie tej bramki. Wydaje mi się, że tę bramkę strzelił ten zawodnik, na którego przed meczem nie liczyliśmy zbytnio, Andrzej Buncol. To jego skulona sylwetka pojawiła się tam na polu bramkowym. 12 minuta drugiej połowy spotkania. 1-0. Jaką taktykę zastosują nasi przeciwnicy? Czy nadal będą stosowali tę żelazną obronę, która została wreszcie po prawie godzinnej walce biało-czerwonych złamana? Iwan, Kupcewicz. Jeden zwód, dobry, będzie strzał. Piłka odbija się, jeszcze trafia pod nogi do laty. Jest Jałocha. Zamieszanie w szeregach obronnych zespołu NRD. Buncol w obrębie pola karnego, jeden zwód, drugi. I wywalczył rzut rożny. Drugi rzut rożny w tej połowie spotkania. Przed 2, może 3 minutami po takim rzucie rożnym wykonywanym właśnie z tego samego miejsca objęliśmy prowadzenie. Zrywają się widzowie na trybunach Stadionu Śląskiego. Wysoka znowu piłka, wykonali Smolarka, znowu 2 zawodników naszych startuje do tej piłki. Lato do tyłu i out dla naszego zespołu. Oto Grapentin, piłkarze NRD nie przegrali 7 ostatnich spotkań wyjazdowych rozgrywanych przez ten zespół. Buncol. Dośrodkowanie Lato, Szarmach! Jeszcze tam jest nasz zawodnik Smolarek, ale nie dosięgnął piłki. Powinni nasi reprezentanci jednak wykorzystywać tego rodzaju sytuacje. Wyraźnie widać, że piłkarze NRD tracą głowę. Żmuda. Dośrodkowanie. Tam Smolarek mocno popychany przez Sztrocniaka. Niesamowicie ambitny. Pogonił za piłką, za którą niewielu zawodników goniłoby.
Nie ma się gdzie spieszyć już teraz spokojnie. Dziuba. Jeszcze raz. Dziuba po prawej, na prawą stronę. Out. Zarobiliśmy jakieś 20 metrów. Przenosimy się z akcją coraz bliżej pola karnego drużyny NRD. 2 minuty do zakończenia. Każdy metr, każda sytuacja. I teraz, proszę Państwa, Lato, zwód na lewą nogę. Zagranie do Buncola. Buncol, aj! Coś niesamowitego. Rzut rożny, końcami palców, jakiś ekwilibrystyczny, akrobatyczny sposób. Grapentin wybił tę piłkę. Powtórka, proszę Państwa. Oto mały Buncol z Chorzowskiego Ruchu i rzut rożny. Kupcewicz krótko do Smolarka, nie, Buncol do Smolarka. Smolarek teraz przy linii. Wywalczyli piłkę piłkarze NRD. Ostatnia minuta spotkania na Stadionie Śląskim. Ostatni atak. Libers walczy Skrobowski. Rzut wolny dla drużyny NRD. Ostatnia chyba akcja, proszę Państwa. Piłka ustawiona. Strocniak i Derner. Derner z połowy boiska. Na nasze pole karne groźna sytuacja, ale uciekła piłka na szczęście dla nas. Stojącemu tam z lewej strony chyba Steinbachowi. Cały stadion, proszę Państwa, na nogach. Na zegarze 45, a więc ostatnie sekundy spotkania. Proszę Państwa, tak pragnęliśmy tego zwycięstwa. Tak bardzo chcieliśmy, aby nasi reprezentanci zwyciężyli. I zwyciężyli! Koniec meczu na Stadionie Śląskim, a jednak marzenia spełniły się. Proszę Państwa, radość ogromna. 100 000 ludzi szalejących na Stadionie Śląskim, miliony w domach. Zwycięstwo zespołu polskiego. Zwycięstwo w ciężkiej i trudnej sytuacji naszej reprezentacji. Przypomnę, proszę Państwa, tę całą epopeję przygotowań, te zmiany, iluż to tych zawodników w tej kadrze grało, ilu się sprawdziło, a ilu się nie sprawdziło. Zwycięstwo biało-czerwonych, wspaniała sprawa. Jan Tomaszewski, Piotr Skrobowski, radość ogromna. No ten chłopak się cieszy, coś on naopowiadał nam przed meczem. Wielka to sprawa, proszę Państwa, że ten zespół montowany w pocie czoła, w trudzie ogromnym odniósł zwycięstwo jednak nad niesamowitą drużyną NRD.
Concern the Brazilians. There's Zico with a lovely ball to Isidoro, or rather to Zico, a goal! Yeah, well, my word, what a shot that was. Ada just whacked it first time, and just look at it bend. Clemens was...
And here's James. James cross, and Alan Rudd got a hand to it, but that's a good goal.
And he's getting past McQueen, and Walsh is on the far post again.
Going for the line. Oh, he's put it away.
Ray Stewart, his first for his country. In the move which produced the second, Asa Hartford played the final pass, and Steve Archibald went on to beat all the defenders and Pat Jennings. So the one appearance.
A goal for Scotland.
The watching England manager. This time they had to come from behind as Halvar Thoresson put Norway in front 10 minutes into the second half. The 2 goals in 3 minutes ended Norwegian joy and restored Hungary's position. Kiss got the first from a corner in the 70th minute. And then, as the Norwegian defenders seemed to hesitate, Kiss was again found in the clear. And with an impudent chip, he brought victory at 2-1.
That goal in the 20th minute was followed immediately by a display of short, accurate passing reminiscent of the Harlem Globetrotters. On the end of the chance this time was Ronaldo. Like England, France had their chances, but the Brazilians seemed to play with an attitude of you score 2, we'll score 3, and who can blame them when skill like this from Zico set up their third goal, converted by the gifted Socrates. The final score in Paris was 3-1, and Brazil then went on to Stuttgart for the last game of their tour against West Germany. In the early stages, the European champions had the edge, and their best player in this period, Paul Breitner, began a move which led to Rummenigge's low near-post cross being turned into goal by Klaus Fischer. Before half-time, though, Brazil had taken control, and 16 minutes into the second half, they produced this magnificent equaliser. The way they weaved little patterns with their passes is nice, but look out for Cerezo's control and instant shot, all with the right foot. I can only assume that Germany's substitute keeper Immel then became psychologically scared of the Brazilian skill. It's the only excuse I can find for his total misjudgment of Junior's free kick in the 74th minute.
Pass from the number 5 Barmosh, and Vizek just getting enough contact to bobble the ball into the corner. And before half-time, Panenka's penalty made it 2-0. But midway through the second half, Iceland threatened to do Wales a good turn when Bergs pulled a goal back. But the Czechs responded by scoring 4 times in the last 18 minutes. Nahoda here putting them 3-1 in front. And then Kozak scored twice in 2 minutes. A simple goal, with Iceland now in some disarray. And Kozak's second was set up by the substitute Janecka, who inspired this late rally. And it's 5-1 now to Czechoslovakia. And Janecka got some reward himself with the final goal to make it 6-1. And for Czechoslovakia...
Goal in the 25th minute. 11 minutes later, a more intricate move saw the Finnish keeper make a brilliant save from Dremler, only for Fischer to bundle in the loose ball at the far post. 3 minutes later, West Germany made it 3-0. The Finns blocked the first shot, but then had no answer to a delicate lob over the keeper, which was met by the diving Kautz. The only other goal in the game came 10 minutes from time. Substitute Borchers sold a lovely dummy and then dragged the ball into space for a shot which was blocked, but which Fischer chested home to make the final score Finland 0, West...
5 for 1982. He ran into difficulties in Switzerland.
There's Zappa. Scheibele. Stolzer. Oh, and Scheibele continued his run, and Scheibele scores for Switzerland. The Swiss fans delighted with the way their team have taken England on, and here's Stolzer. And Stolzer's gone past them all. It's there! England are in disarray.
On the back of a consolation goal here from Terry McDermott, England salvaged their pride a week later by winning in Hungary. But a dreadful defeat in Norway had us all back on the edge of Germany.
Borg then with the kick. Jennings goes the wrong way. Sweden 1, Northern Ireland 0.
Sulzer, Scheibele continuing the run, and space has opened up for him. Scheibele. The Swiss celebrating in the sunshine. And Here's Salsa trying to add to those celebrations and getting in his shot and getting the second. 2 goals in just over a minute. Forward from Robson, looking for Mariner, and Koppel winning it back well. And a chance here for McDermott, and England at least end their goal famine and have 35 surprises in this qualifying competition when they met Italy in Group 5. Denmark here in the white shorts, and it was a disastrous game for Dino Zoff, the Italian goalkeeper, now in his 40th year. And Per Rundved was able to shoot past Zoff from a very tight angle. And Denmark a goal up after 58 minutes. Zoff was at fault again 3 minutes later, when Frank Arnesen scored directly from this free kick. Graziani to score. But the Danes sealed a splendid performance 3 minutes from time. They might have had a penalty here, but the loose ball was immediately drilled in by Lars Bastrup. 3-1.
Flick wide for Phil Neal on the far side there. Koppel. In again now for McDermott. Can he cross it in there? Brooking! And it's there!
Oh, brilliant.
England have scored, and Trevor Brooking has done it. Neal with a chance to cross it in there once more, but maybe he'll try and find Koppel down that flank. No, it's in here for Keegan. Played back for Brooking. Terrific goal! A terrific goal by Brooking, and England are back in the lead. Look at the ball caught up in the corner there. And there's a pass given away to Paul Mariner. Keegan outside him, and Keegan on his own. Onside. Can he make it 3 now, Kevin? Keegan. No, he can't. And he's got a penalty, has he? He has indeed. Can Keegan do it? Yes, he can! Mariner, and he wasn't far from doing it. Mariner would have been in the clear. As it is, there's trouble. Torocic. And Clemens is out there. And it's a goal!
Hansi Muller with a typically positive run, and finished by the European Footballer of the Year, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge.
For the much-fancied Portugal. In the first half, the first of many defensive errors gave Sweden the lead. The ball finally falling here to the big central defender, Börjesson, and that's 1-0. Moving into the second half, and there was more trouble for Portugal on the way. On the corner kick, Hussein's header appears to be going wide. That is until fullback Gabriel knocks the ball into his own net. 2-0. Shortly after that, more disarray, and the Portuguese defence allowed Svensson here with the simplest of chances. So Sweden right back in the race, and that 3-0 win a tremendous boost as they now head to...
With coming up to a quarter of an hour gone, Keegan, the little backward header. And England coming in here, and Robson. A goal! Yes, it is given! Knocked out again that time by the skipper Torresson, once more to Lund. There's a good cross coming in once more, and it's gone in! It's gone in! Lund now playing it for Auckland on the far side. And McDermott not going, there he is!
And put Scotland ahead after 21 minutes. The third time in his career, Jordan has scored a goal which looks like clinching Scotland a place in the World Cup finals. He also played a part in their second goal 8 minutes from the end. By now, Andy Gray had come on as substitute for Kenny Dalglish, and he was brought down there by Borjesson. So John Robertson stepped forward to convert his third penalty in the last 2 World Cup games, and to make the final score at Hampden Park, Scotland 2, Sweden 0.
Ball to Franz Tyson. The Ipswich man plays a 1-2, finishing off with a fierce shot. Before half-time, the Republic drew level from a fine flowing move. Liam Brady delivers the perfect ball to Highway on the wing, and watch out for Brighton's Mike Robinson near the penalty spot as Highway crosses. Another fine goal to make the scoreline 1-1. In the second half, Holland's Johnny Rep got David Langen in a tangle. That clumsy tackle brought a penalty. And the slow motion proves the referee was right. Arnold Muren on target with the kick. 2-1 to Holland, and both the Ipswich players in the Dutch team on the score sheet. But the Irish kept going forward, and look out for Frank Stapleton's brilliant header as Mark Lawrenson provides the cross. A superb goal for the Manchester United man, 2-2 the final score, and the Republic's hope
took the lead after 11 minutes when Klaus Fischer scored a typical goal at the near post. Even so, the 45,000 crowd in Bochum jeered the European champions when they allowed Finland to come back into the match 5 minutes before half-time. Torjunen driving in the equaliser while the Germans appealed for handball. But at this point, Germany's reaction was so different to that of England in Switzerland and Norway, because almost at once, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge scored with that tremendous overhead kick, setting up a second half in which he and the Germans tore the Finns to pieces. Paul Breitner on the ball here, playing these days in midfield, played the 1-2 with Borchers and made it 3-1 after 54 minutes. Then Rummenigge got into the act again, this time on the left. He combined with number 9 Fischer, hung off those two defenders and then clipped his second goal and West Germany's fourth. The European Footballer of the Year was in irrepressible form, making number 5 here for Breitner, who indulged his skills with that delicate chipped finish. The Germans, without the injured Hrubesch and Hansi Müller, still proved that in the World Cup, small teams must be shown no mercy. Here's Rummenigge completing his hat-trick and making it 6-1. Then, taking a pass from Fischer, Rummenigge laid on number 7 for his Bayern colleague Dremmler, whose deft flick header was another example of superb West German technique in a 7-1 win.
inferior opposition. The Russians went 3 goals ahead in the first 26 minutes, with some familiar names to West Ham and Liverpool supporters involved in the goals. Shevardnadze scored the first after only 4 minutes. Shevardnadze, the Soviet captain, one of the stars of the great Dynamo Tbilisi side. The second goal was scored by Demyanenko, stand-in for another Tbilisi player, Kipiani, who's recovering from a broken leg. A superb 1-2 with Gavrilov, beautifully finished. The Turkish goalkeeper Senol was unlucky with the third goal. He makes a fine save coming up here, but the rebound is knocked in by a former European Player of the Year, Oleg Blokhin. Wales manager Mike England will be impressed by the skills for the fourth goal, and it's scored by yet another Tbilisi player, Shengelia, who later in the game missed a penalty. 4-0 then, and Wales can't be relishing their visit to Russia in November.
Went ahead as early as the 6th minute. From the corner, the ball comes out and Ormslev forces it in. Well, that goal was quite a setback for the Czechs, and they had to wait, in fact, until 14 minutes from the end before getting the all-important equaliser. Vizek in midfield had a hand in it here. Plays it forward to Masny. He doesn't control it, but Kozak was in hand to...
Alza la palla Selvaggi. Ferma l'azione Cabrini ed ecco un rilancio in contropiede di Graziani, anche Dossena si spinge in avanti, servito Dossena in area, traversone
Difference could still be important in this group. The Soviet side made it 2-0 after 36 minutes, when Oleg Blokhin, their most famous forward, scored with a clinical left-foot shot, making it 2-0 at half-time. In the second half, Blokhin scored again, this time with a header from a free kick, making the final score in Izmir
carried the ball outside the penalty area. The Italian referee awarded a direct free kick, the result of which, as you'll see, sent the 80,000 crowd in Bucharest wild with delight. There's not too much wrong with the Swiss wall or the keeper's position, but neither was good enough to stop a whipped shot from Balac hitting the back stanchion. It was a quite perfect strike from the Romanian, and one well worth seeing again from behind the goal on the right, and from that moment the Swiss substitute decided to go it alone, cutting in and waltzing around the keeper before scoring a magnificent goal.
with that equaliser from the defender Zappa outside the penalty area. There was a big slice of luck, though, for England and Switzerland.
Druga minuta, wymiana piłek między Lato i Matusikiem. Dośrodkowanie piłkarza Górnika Zabrze. Pod bramką Grappentina Szarmach. Uderzenie piłki głową 1-0. Andrzej Szarmach, obecnie we francuskim klubie Auxerre. Cztery minuty później właśnie Szarmach przekazuje piłkę Smolarkowi. Ten mija Dernera, potem Grappentina. Zwycięża w piłkarskim pojedynku Libersa i dokonuje dzieła. 2-0 dla Polski. Włodzimierz Smolarek, piłkarz łódzkiego Widzewa. To już druga połowa meczu. Strajk pod polską bramką. W tarciu z obrońcami napastnik NRD pada na murawę. Rzut karny decyduje hiszpański sędzia Lemo Castillo. W 27. reprezentacyjnym występie Schmuckhaze nie marnuje okazji. Kontaktowa bramka. Rüdiger Schmuckhaze gra w klubie Carl Siena. Wkrótce 62. minuta spotkania. I oto piłkę przejmuje Smolarek. Długi jego raj. Próbuje zatrzymać Smolarka Weisse, bez skutku. W akcji Grappentin, a piłka nad nim w bramce. Prowadzimy 3-1. Powie potem Włodzimierz Smolarek: ćwiczę to na treningach. Nauczył mnie tak strzelać w biegu kolega klubowy Marek Pięta. Ostatni gol. Dośrodkowanie Steinbacha wprowadzonego po przerwie. Minie się z piłką Józef Młynarczyk. Wykorzystuje ten błąd doświadczony Joachim Streich z FC Magdeburg. Nie mogłem dosięgnąć dokręconej piłki. Oceni później tę sytuację nasz bramkarz. Ale koniec wieńczy dzieło. W Lipsku wygrywa nasza reprezentacja 3-2. Ma już zapewniony awans do finałów przyszłorocznych Mistrzostw Świata.
Is still on. Out by Walid. And a fine goal! Oh, brilliant goal by Steve Woodin. Brilliant goal. Marvellous, marvellous strike by Steve Woody. It hardly came off the ground.
Down to Walid. And Barry is onside. And they're in a bit of trouble here. And a penalty's been given. Penalty's been given, judging from the referee's signs, that was for handball. And so Richard Wilson, who's had this record for 10 full games.
Oh, he saved it! The hero of the hour, they all want to congratulate him. And the crowd on their feet.
Naeem. And it hit the crossbar. And another handball given. Another handball given on the edge of the area. But the ball surely then struck hand. The ball surely aimed at the hand, and I really can't see how the referee could give a penalty for that. But a penalty he has given. And this time, it's not to be Jassem. And Richard Wilson facing his second penalty of the match. 9:21 minutes his record now. And it's going to be Faisal who takes it, and we got a spectator on the field throwing something at the referee. Oh dear, this we did not want to see. And I'm sure what the referee wants is the public announcement. Also with him is the FIFA observer, Peter Valapian of Malaysia. And the culprit has been apprehended. Referee looking to see whether Wilson moves, and up comes Faisal. And Wilson did move, but it didn't matter anyway. Ball went the other way, and Faisal has made the score 1-1. Here's Naeem. It's curling, Jassem! And a fine goal. Really flung himself at it. The ball was curling, and Richard Wilson very, very disappointed.
Helmy must be offside. Is offside. The flag had gone. It's a penalty given here. It's Abu Zaid. And he scores. No, it's got to be retaken because there are two, if not three, England players in the penalty area. And it's a retake. Well, this is an amazing situation.
In which case it should be a goal if the England players are in. That's a bad decision again.
Right, another chance then for Abu Zaid, the Egyptian captain, to take this hotly disputed penalty. Referee making sure that all the players are outside the penalty area. He put it to the goalkeeper's left last time. The other side this time, and Egypt take a shock lead. They breaking down that flank. Soliman inside, not a good ball, and it's away by Colin Greenall. And here's an opportunity for Salim. How the devil did that happen? It's a goal. And a dreadful error at the back by England, and it's accepted by Salim, and it's 2-0. So Egypt, the shock side, but Wallace and Webb is going in there for a shot. He's got it. Webb pulls one back immediately for England. They desperately needed that. And at last, something for the England supporters to celebrate. Now Peake, wide out there is Cook. This is Wallace coming off well. Over goes Hashish. Wallace is getting into the area. He tumbles. The shot. Oh, it's in. Cook has scored. The goalkeeper had a dreadful error, but Cook has stuffed it in. 2-2. Well picked up here by Peake. What a good job that he did there, filling the gap. Out to Cook. England pushing everything forward here. Cook still coming. And it's going to come to Webb. Oh, that's a lovely goal. Right, now here comes Steve Kinsey. Getting down to the line. Can't do it against El Mshati. Beats him. Kinsey's cross. In comes Robson. And a tricky one.
I think that was no more than 6 feet wide of the post, but let's give the goalkeeper the benefit of the doubt. Did he need to make this save? As Robson, under pressure, shoots. Not a chance of going in the goal. Abbas just in front of him. Now Cook a chance to go at Abu Dhab. Peak, always there supporting. Cook again. Peak is behind him now if he requires it. Comes in for Webb. Kinsey is wide on the right. Comes fortunately today. Webb takes over. Webb looking for his third. Wallace tumbles. Webb's in there. It's a free kick right on the edge of the area. Peak and Day on the ball. Webb is running at it from a distance. Webb. Oh, he's got a hat-trick. The ploy they work on in training in the few days they've had together.
It's Nilash, the scorer. The Swiss super confident after their win in Romania, but Botteron perhaps overconfident. And he loses possession. And Nilash gets through.
And this is Robinson on the break. Staplin's pulling away. Oh, good play, Robinson. Staplin's far post. A great goal! That was a super goal! Lovely play of France. This is Ballone. Oh, it's a super goal! In there for France. Now it's Martin for Ireland. Back in again. Stapleton gets away. O'Leary. Stapleton. Frank Stapleton. Yes, he... That's a beautiful ball by Sixtus Yondion. Chance for France. Stop by Houghton. And it's in from Platini.
In Lisbon.
Turn and shot from Thomas Larson. The Portuguese lost their goalkeeper Bento. He was replaced by Amaral, winning his first cap. But they equalised midway through the second half after this determined run by right-back Gabriel. And that good header by Pietra.
Pfizer within a minute of going behind to a goal for Austria by Walter Schachner. Klaus Fischer out on the left worked hard to get a good cross in. And as the ball came back from Rumenika's challenge, Pierre Litbarski met it on the volley. No wonder he enjoyed the moment to the full, as he'd scored within 17 minutes of his international debut. The replay shows clearly that the shot took a deflection.
Quite superb volley from Johnny Method, who'll be playing for AZ'67 against Liverpool next week in the European Cup. That was after 8 minutes, and in the 26th minute, the recalled Johan Neeskens, and then Frans Thijssen, wearing number 8, setting up a chance well taken by Kees van Kooten. 5 minutes before half-time now, and Belgium reduced to 10 men. A blatant body check by Walter Meus on Method, and that leads to Meus being sent off. The third Dutch goal coming 9 minutes into the second half. Arnold Muren with a chance at the near post, but his miss kick falling perfectly for substitute Wout Hales. It's 3-0, and the Dutch hopes of qualifying still alive. With the free kick, and a free header for Felix Magath. After some intense Austrian pressure, West Germany increased their lead 13 minutes from time. Litbarski's first effort is blocked, but he scores his second goal from the rebound. A 3-1 win to West.
They held Spain at bay until the second half, although sometimes fortunately. Then the gates opened, goal number 1 coming up. A free kick by Lopez Ufati, bending it round the wall, 1-0 to Spain. Coming up, goal number 2, and stand by for a marvellous run up the left-hand side here by fullback Gordillo. Apparently he just loves to come forward, all the skill of a forward. Getting past 3 men, the easiest of chances coming up for substitute Azaro. But all the congratulations, of course, must go to that man, Gordillo. By this time, Luxembourg were in some disarray, and with the help of some defensive errors, Spain hit a third. The ball will finally fall to Lopez Ufati, showing George Best coolness. 3-0 Spain.
And that means Jae-Hang Rung put China 1-0 in the lead. Of course.
Goal by Benny Tabak, and the crowd were in for a most unexpected first half. 2 minutes later, Portugal equalised. The scorer with a header was Jordão, who played so well for Sporting Lisbon at Southampton in the UEFA Cup a week earlier. With 14 minutes gone, Israel went back in front. The ball was only partially cleared by the Portuguese defence, and the follow-up shot by Dante flashed past an unsighted goalkeeper, Amaral, playing only his second international. There was no stopping the Israelis. 4 minutes later, Tabak broke away, and when his shot came back off the goalkeeper, he stayed cool to steer in his second and Israel's third. And on the half-hour, Tabak completed his hat-trick to make it 4-1. An incredible half-time score which left the Portuguese stunned and which...
Tengiz Sulak-Velidze finding room for a shot that hits the post, and again it's Shengelia who knocks in the...
Before half-time, but the world champions were in for a shock after the interval. They failed to clear a corner from the left and then had no answer to an outstanding piece of individual skill by Ivan, which led to him pulling the ball back from the goal line where Bunkol turned it neatly past Filho. 1-1 and Argentina on their way to their first home defeat since the World Cup finals. Boniek's curling free kick 20 minutes from time.
Wynik tego meczu cały świat piłkarski uznał za wielką niespodziankę. Wygrać z mistrzem świata u niego w domu, a właśnie zwycięstwem reprezentacji Polski zakończył się w jesieni towarzyski mecz z Argentyną i to w Buenos Aires. Sam wielki Cezar Luis Menotti uchylił kapelusza, dodając fachowy komentarz. Kontratak jest silną bronią reprezentacji Polski. Dała ona temu dowód w Lipsku. Opinia ta potwierdziła się na River Plate.
Jordão, and their hopes of qualifying suffered a setback.
Greek opposition, but the goal was worth waiting for. Scored by Bruno Conti, playing his first game for the national team for almost a year. Conti's Zoff making...
Parę dni wcześniej Maltańczycy przegrali Wienie z NRD 1-5. Ile stracą goli we Wrocławiu? Jak najmniej postanowili piłkarze Malty. Cel ten dzielnie realizowali do przerwy rewanżowego spotkania z Polakami. Skromne 1-0 po 45 minutach to efekt strzału Andrzeja Iwana. W drugiej połowie strzelecki festiwal naszych reprezentantów. Rozpoczął go w 47 minucie Włodzimierz Smolarek. Ten sam zawodnik potem zdobędzie jeszcze jednego gola. Na liście strzelców znajdzie się również Stefan Majewski. A później w 80 minucie piątą bramkę dla Polski i pierwszą zdobędzie debiutant Dariusz Dziekanowski. Na 6 minut przed końcem meczu jego wynik ustali najmłodszy senior Zbigniew Boniek. Awans Polski do finałów bez straty punktu. Piękna droga do trzeciego z kolei występu w gronie najlepszych. Tylko 6 reprezentacjom piłkarskim na świecie udało się ostatnio dokonać tej trudnej sztuki.
With the goalkeeper badly positioned. The Dutch had 3 players from their World Cup final teams of 1974 and 78, but they squandered their chances in the first half. And as the ball curled around the defensive wall and clipped the far post, the end of an era was in sight. The search for great individual players who can thrill the World Cup audiences in Spain could well start with Dominique Rocheteau, the playboy Frenchman, now back in favour and so reminiscent here of George Best as he turns defenders inside out to set up the second goal.
Alvin Martin up with the goalkeeper. This is Shredder Brooking. Oh, there's a chance there. It's a goal. Paul Mariner. Goalkeeper, this is Shredder Brooking. Oh, there's a chance there.
Partey leaving Tomaszewski stranded. We'll get a better view of that goal in the replay. It was the midfield general, as you'll see here, Zamora, who starts it. He feeds it to Partey, and you'll see his shot take a wicked deflection to leave Tomaszewski stranded. 1-0. Then as Spain piled on the pressure, out of luck a few minutes later, and you'll see midfielder Alonso cracking one here, but off the bar. Into the second half, 10 minutes into the second half, Poland hit back. The shot goes in, Arcanado can only push it into the path of Matisik, who makes no mistake. That goal obviously perked the Poles up a bit, and they went 2-1 up with this very clever goal from Boniek. 2-1 Poland. But Spain hit back immediately, overcomes the cross, and its defender, Alazanko, who's up there to knock in the header. And 5 minutes from the end, the winner for Spain and the best goal of the game. Zorl it is who will provide the cross, and Alonso proves how dangerous he can be coming through from midfield. Great finishing.
The second, after a powerful run by Peter Briegel, now nominally playing at the back. Verenov, the goalkeeper, lost the cross. The German's third goal came from a penalty, and while his final fall was somewhat dramatic, slow motion shows that Rummenigge's shirt was certainly pulled. The scorer was Manny Kaltz. And West Germany's perfect run to the finals was completed with this explosive shot by Rummenigge.
Rocheteau lining it up, and that really is an excellent effort from Rocheteau, only taking the free kicks because the French captain Michel Platini was out. The cross, and Bernard Lacombe with save from the goalkeeper Stiliano, but in the end Lacombe drives it in for the third, and the Cypriots with the worst defensive record in the World Cup, heading for their 29th successive defeat, and sealed here by the substitute Bruno Bellone, and the cross for Genghini to head in.
This marvellous shot from Faisal Al-Dakil.
فاول بصاها الله ابدا الان منتخب الكويت الوطني فعلا بيتباطأ في الدفاع، واللاعب النزندي بيتحرك بسرعه ويسجل هدفين في اقل من دقيقه. هذه اسبانيا، هذا الكورنر، هذا الكورنر لعبت.
A brave header from Satrustegui to punish a Belgian defence that earned a solid reputation in the last European Championships. The veteran Keeney, here in his first international since his notorious kidnapping, set up Spain's second. The pass for Victor, 2 minutes from time. Satrustegui following in. And
scorer of the first goal finds Cools, Van Moor. This is Mertens breaking, and he's onside, and it should be 3. Van der El standing.
A quarter of an hour gone, and from this goal kick by the Saudis, it's knocked straight through to Winton Rufer. There's no offside flag, and Rufer makes no mistake. He sets the Kiwis on their way, but there's still a lot to do. But just 30 seconds later, in fact, straight from the kickoff after that goal, that impossible dream looks a lot more likely. A Saudi Arabian attack breaks down there, and New Zealand committed totally to attack on the all-weather surface, play the ball out to that left-hand side to Woodin. Watch out for a slack defensive header and a great volley coming up after this. In goes the cross. There's a poor defensive header there, but what a terrific volley from Brian Turner with that left foot. So that's 2-0 to New Zealand. Remember, it's 6 to qualify, 5 for a playoff, and New Zealand produced a devastating burst in the last 6 minutes of the half. There's a cross shot from Steve Woodin. You wonder a bit about the goalkeeping, but New Zealand won't worry about that. That's 3-0. Another run and shot by Woodin. Again, the goalkeeper can't hold it. Rufer is in for his second and New Zealand's fourth. Rufer on his way to Norwich in the new year and only 18. And incredibly, we're still in the first half. Woodin goes clear there. He's sent crashing by that goalkeeper. That's got to be a penalty. And if Turner scores here, New Zealand will have at least a playoff. Turner, New Zealand's most capped player.
For the weekend that has tonight given Wales and Era some hope of still being one of the finalists. A 2-1 victory for New Zealand, playing in all-white against China, meant they had qualified for the first time. But this winning goal from teenage Norwich striker Winton Rufer has brought about the first threat of a World Cup boycott. It's now thought that African countries will put pressure on Algeria and the Cameroons to withdraw because of New Zealand's rugby connection with South Africa. That would leave both Wales and Era as possible replacements.
The cross cut back nicely from the goal line, ending with Isidoro striking a fine shot. The goal which put Brazil ahead came 7 minutes into the second half. Zico's clever pass being converted by Renato. So 2-1 to the Brazilians, who then sealed victory 12 minutes from time. The cross is from Isidoro, but look out for the clever footwork by substitute Serginho. And it's his shot which leaves the final scoreline, Brazil 3, East Germany.
In the second goal. Well, the Russians came back with 2 goals in the last 5 minutes. The first one coming up from Gravelov. Not a bad goal, that one. And then just before the end, the second, a free kick from Buryak.
Gun by Manny Kaltz, ended with Umberto Curlo turning the ball past his own goalkeeper. Jupp Derval, West Germany's manager, used the match to play just too many midfield and 4 forwards. But he may well have had some questions to put to his 4 at the back after this goal just before half-time, involving Oliveira, Jordao and finally Norton. Pleas for offside were turned away. Even so, a comfortable victory was confirmed when Fischer again showed his climbing ability to score West Germany's 3rd from Dremler's cross. Final score, West Germany 3, Portugal. It's Anderson. And the run by Francis. Oh, and a marvellous opening. Brian Robson, the scorer. Anderson. Morley. Francis. 3 in the middle. Oh, that's a good angle cross. Keegan! What a good cross. Watson again on the far angle of the 6-yard box. Watson, blocked by Nelson. Wilkins. And it got a deflection. And Ray Wilkins will certainly claim the goal. Sansom. Woodcock out to the left. Sansom. Huddle.
Up in midfield, number 6 Jean Tigana set up the first goal, although it was captain Michel Platini who foxed his marker, Marco Tardelli, and placed his shot wide of 40-year-old Dino Zoff in the Italian goal. A fine piece of finishing by Platini, who England will need to mark closely in Bilbao. In the second half, France clinched their victory thanks to 2 substitutes. Dominique Rocheteau made the running on the right, and 19-year-old Daniel Bravo marked his first cap by shooting past the substitute goalkeeper Bourdon. It was France's first victory over Italy for 62 years.
Alan Ruff. Trustergay, who scored the 2 goals against Belgium. He's only scored 11 goals in 26 games this season. This is a penalty. Oh, brilliant save by Ruff. And it's pushed away. Victor. Rain. That's a brilliant pass. Yupate. Oh, it's a brilliant pass. And the penalty has been given. This time it's Kini. It was Trustergay who took the first one, which Ruff saved. Now, Kini. There it is. 2-0. Gordillo. Got there by Gordillo. It's a great goal. Gallego.
This shot from an extremely tight angle. This is them now in white against Czechoslovakia. And Blockin picks the ball up, deep, beats a couple of men, and then really pumps a superb goal.
Shortly before half-time, a cross in from the right, some desperate defence before Cherenkov stabbed it home. Now, goal number 2 must have chilled Jock Skeen, who was watching the game. A slightly stuttering build-up early in the second half, before a thundering right-footed drive from Berjak to clinch it 2-0 for Russia.
From another free kick, Czechoslovakia thought they'd scored. There's a shot against the post by Kozak, and number 11 Nahoda knocks in the rebound. but from an offside position. And referee Lustau, from Argentina incidentally,
for Keegan to bend it round the wall. A classic Floyd, and England were one up. It was all good football and good manners set before an impeccable crowd. And as if to emphasise the goodwill occasion, Bilbao equalised in the second half. But the score wasn't that important. For England, it was a victory for diplomacy that could well pay far greater dividends here in June.
In the 50th minute. And it was the substitute, too, who was involved in the move which produced the winner, although it was a bit late, 4 minutes from time. The very experienced Nahoda laid the ball wide, and Yarolim in the side.
Neatly judged, Evans was up, and just touched away by Kroll. Archibald. Dead. Nice deep ball inside, feels the hands, a penalty kick. Penalty to Scotland. And now with 13 minutes gone, Frank Gray. 1-0. Archibald is after this, a brilliant ball there for the English. Archibald on his own. Kroll stuffs it out. Jim Bent goes neatly to the side. Kenny Dalglish wants it back. Brilliant play. Dalglish, oh yes! That is one of the best goals I've seen Scotland score at Hampden Park. And look at the speed of number 11, Tahamata. Alan Evans goes with him, keeps his eye on the ball. They're doing a lot of jinking. That's a good ball across, and it's in. Number 5, Metcalf taking that, neatly taken. And it's offside. Well, I didn't notice the linesman had his flag up, and look at number 5. He can't believe it. Then the corporate. Rijkaard. Scotland retreating, getting back to that area again, and Rijkaard takes them on the right. And that's headed away, and is in this time. They're practically on the half-bar, and that is 2-1.
West Germany in the white shirt certainly had their moment in rear. The scorer, nominally the left back, was Junior, a player who could well make 1 or 2 headlines in the World Cup finals. A fine 1-2, which he finished quite superb.
And Zonier, recalled by the French, was left unmarked beyond the far post. Zonier was the architect of the second goal with a shot that Jim Platt did well to parry. Alain Couriol, though, left with a simple chance. 10 minutes into the second half, and Platt exposed again, and eventually brings down Bruno Bellon, a penalty. Jean-Francois Larios scores from the penalty spot, 3-0 to France. Gerard Soler, on as a substitute, created the 4th and final goal, a positive run and cross, decisively finished by Bernard Giorgini. France 4, Northern Ireland 0. Czechoslovakia, England's other European opponents in World Cup Group 4, made hard work of a 2-1 win over Greece, after Cui snipped in to put Greece in front 2 minutes before half-time. The Czechs, Jesus Statrustegui on a twisting run for Spain, past Joey Jones, and then placing his shot past Dai Davis, Spain into the lead after 21 minutes. Strong for an experimental Romania in Brussels, and it was an intelligent header here by Erwin Vandenberg that enabled René Verheyen to open Belgium's scoring after 12 minutes. Into the last minute of the half now, 37-year-old Wilfried van Moor looping the ball into the middle, and it finally drops for Verheyen to score his second. Belgium had their lapses in defence, though, and in the 51st minute, Aurel Ticlianu made the most of this opportunity. But at 2-1, the game was given a grandstand finale by Alex Cherniatinsky. Frankie Verkauteren with the cross, and Cherniatinsky with a superb finish that Pelé himself would have been proud of.
Only Alex Cherniatinski's fourth international, a 21-year-old striker who plays for Antwerp, and Vercauteren set up another goal for him. A clinical volley from Cherniatinski, 4-1 to Maradona, and Mario Kempes with that shot that goes off the post. Maradona right at the centre of a typical piece of Argentine defence, and Dremler with a fine cross shot in off the far post. You've got to admire the way that Rubisch gets up for that header. Football that won the World Cup 4 years ago. A touch there from Maradona, and Calderon, a winger, going on, taking it in his stride and equalising. Maradona showing why he's such a valuable player. The Argentine former South American Footballer of the Year, but turning that cross past his own keeper. Coming up now, Chile's winner. Poland and Italy can't be too worried if Peru defend like that. And Miguel Nera, the penalty taker, scores with his left foot. Chile 2, Peru 1. Performance by Argentina with 8 of their World Cup winning side. They take the lead just before half-time. Maradona starting that move. Mario Kempes carrying it on. And then Ramon Diaz putting enough pace on the shot to beat Dasayev.
To the match, the Soviet Union managed an equaliser in the 69th minute. A very simple effort, with the cross from the left being met by Oganessian's firm header. Argentina won, the Soviet Union.
The Soviet here in the dark shirts were caught out on the near post in the 22nd minute. Pierre Littbarski heading West Germany into the lead on his home ground in Cologne. It stayed 1-0 until 25 minutes into the second half, when Bizek aimed a pass through the centre of the West German defence, and Bichowski, adjudged onside, equalised for Czechoslovakia. But 3 minutes from the end, Bichowski was harshly ruled to have handled, and the Austrian referee awarded a penalty to West Germany. A second look at the incident confirmed that Bichowski took great care to play the ball away with his chest. But upset Paul Breitner to roll the penalty past Prushka, with Czechoslovakia bitterly upset at the manner of their defeat. Covered from a 20th minute goal scored by white-shirted East Germany in Leipzig. Poor marking on this cross by Zercher, and a free header for Hauser. And it could have been even worse for Enzo Berzot, Italy's team manager, who's again under severe criticism inside his own country. Pomerenka so close to adding to that one-goal lead midway through the second half.
The England players made sure that Ron Greenwood's final match at Wembley had a happy ending, and the build-up to the first goal, with Phil Thompson involved in the move on 3 occasions, must have pleased him immensely. The Dutch goalkeeper unwittingly helped things along, but Tony Woodcock's finishing was impressive. The second goal was created with a fine ball by substitute Graham Rix, and the shot by Paul Mariner was superb. So fittingly, the player whose goal earned England a World Cup place gave a marvellous send-off to Ron Greenwood and the Wembley crowd.